Hello and welcome to this tutorial from the FAL ICT Academy video library. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to customize your desktop in a Windows 7 operating system. Now, customizing your desktop will help you to easily interact with files, folders, and applications that you use most often. Now, first I'm going to explore the Windows 7 desktop metaphor so that we can get used to the terminology. Now, as you can see, I've installed this a newly installed Microsoft Windows 7 operating system. Now, by default, the only icon that you see on the desktop is the recycle bin where you have all deleted files. Now, you also have a default theme which comes with the Windows 7 or with the Windows logo. Now, when you look down here, you have the taskbar. Now, the taskbar contains what? The start button. It contains pinned programs by default, and you also have the system tray. Now here, as you can see, you have some applications that are already pinned on the taskbar like Internet Explorer, Windows Explorer, the Media Player, and Firefox. Now here I can customize it and put the applications that I use most often. Now to do that, what I'm going to do now is to click on the start button, go to all programs, and look for, let's say I use Word most often, so I can just, when I see Word, I'll just drag it. And as you can see, before I release my mouse button, it says pin to taskbar. So when I release the mouse, then you will see that that application will be pinned to the taskbar. Now let's say I also want my Notepad++ because I use it for coding, so I can also pin it on the taskbar. So you just need to drag and drop. Now I can also use Nero Express. I use it often. When I go back, okay, let's say Paint, snipping tool. So let's say these are the applications I use most often, so I can always pin them on the taskbar so that I can easily interact with them anytime I need them. I just have to click them. So to remove applications that appear on the taskbar, let's say for example Internet Explorer, I don't use it most often, so I can just right click on it and I say unpin this program from taskbar. Now when you look at the right hand side here, you have the system tray. Now here it contains the clock, and you also have the sounds and the network icon here, and you also have a small drop, a small arrow that points up that shows you other options. Now what I'm going to do now is to show you how to change some of the options within the taskbar. Now when I right click on this area of the taskbar, then I will see some options here. I have toolbar, and some options are grayed out because you cannot use them at the moment. Then I will click on the properties. So when I click on the properties, then I will see the properties dialog box. So here I have three tabs. I have the taskbar, I have the start menu, and I have the toolbars. Now here it says lock taskbar. So that means if I want to lock the taskbar, I can just lock it from here. And you also have auto hide taskbar. Now when I click auto hide, now as you can see, if I click apply, the taskbar will automatically hide itself, but whenever I hover my mouse on it, it will come up. You see, when I go up, down. So you can also say use small icons, and you apply, then the icons on the taskbar will be much more smaller, giving room for more applications to be placed there. And I can also, so let me just remove that and leave it to the default. I can change the position of my taskbar. If I say left, then I apply, then the taskbar will go to the left side. I can put it to the right, or I can put it at the top, but let me just leave it to the bottom. Later I will change it. And you can also customize the notification area, that is the system tray here. So when I click there, I have some options, like for example, I don't like seeing this, so I can just say hide icon and notification. The network, yes, I want that one there, I want this one there. Okay, I can leave the remaining, and I click OK. So anyone that you don't want to see on the system tray, you can always hide it. So when I click OK now, as you can see, that notification is gone now. But let me show you one thing. As you can see down here, it says what? Turn system icons on and off. So when I click there, as you can see, I have the clock, I have the volume, I can turn them off. For example, if I want to turn this off, I already hide it, but it's not off, it's still active, so I can turn it off. I can turn the clock off, I can turn the volume off. So all these are options that you can customize. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is, for example, right now the taskbar is not locked, so I can place my mouse pointer here and drag it up like that, or I can drag it to the left, or I drag it to the right. So I'm going to position it at the right because I like my taskbar to be at the right hand side. So from there I can lock it. Now when I lock it, when I right click at this area and I click lock, now when I drag it, then it will not move, it will still remain in that position. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your your theme. So when you right click any area within the desktop, you can click personalize. Then here we are using the default theme here, which is the Windows 7 theme. Now let's say I want to use the landscape here. So when I click on it, it will automatically apply that theme. Now here I can come to desktop background. Then here I have some options here. That means these pictures that I choose here, the ones that are selected, they are part of the landscape theme, so they will change every 30 minutes. That means your desktop background will change every 30 minutes. So you can change that settings. You can say every 10 seconds, every 30 seconds, every 1 minute. So let me just say every 1 minute. You can also shuffle it. That means you can change them the way they are arranged. They can shuffle. You can change the picture position, you can fit it, you can stretch it, you can center it, and you can do a lot of things on that. Now when done, if you want, you can even use your own pictures, right? Like for example, here also you have other options. When you say Windows desktop backgrounds, you can choose from a picture library like these ones. You can also choose top rated photos. You can choose solid colors. For example, you can come here and you choose a solid color. If you don't want the pictures there, you can choose a solid color, right? If you want, you can browse for images that are in a folder and you use them. For example, your own photos. Good. So now I'm gonna just choose click save changes. Yes, then I have choose my theme. I can also change the Windows color. So when I click here, I have a bunch of colors here. As you can see, the moment I choose green, then everything turns to green. Okay, let me just choose this orange color. I can increase the color intensity, so the more I go, the color will be darker. The more I come down, it fades. So I'll make it like that. Now we also have color mixer here. You can mix, see, you can change a lot of things here, right? So I think that's okay. So I will click save changes. Now I can also change the sounds, screensaver. If you want to set up a screensaver, just click there, and you can come here. If you want 3D text, blank, bubbles, and also, or if you want even pictures. So let's say I choose 3D text, and I can say settings. So when I come to settings, I can change what displays here. Let's say I say File ICT Academy. Then if I want, I can leave it to spin, seashore, wobble. Let me just say wobble, and I click OK. Then before I click apply, I can preview. So let me just click preview. So when you preview, that's how it looks. That means when the computer is on idle, it can display that screensaver. So I'm just gonna press escape to go back, and I can say wait until 1 minute, or let me just say when the computer is idle for 5 minutes, then the screensaver will come. So you can also say on resume display logo screen. Then I click on what, apply, then okay. So I've changed the desktop. As you can see, it's quite changing because I choose every 1 minute and every moment 1 minute to change. Then I will click here. Good. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is gadgets. So you can always add gadgets to your desktop. Now if I right click on any area on the desktop, I can click gadgets. Now here I have available gadgets, so I can just double click on a gadget like the calendar here, then it will show here. Now I can also double click on clock, slideshow, then they will all appear here. So I can customize them. Now for example, when I come here, I can click on the options here, then I have different clocks here, so I can choose the one that I want. Okay, then let's say maybe I like this, then I can click OK. And come here also and make this larger. If I want to close it, I can click on the X. I can drag them to rearrange them. And the slideshow also, I can come to settings here or options. Then I can choose the pictures that I want. I can just click here and choose the pictures that I want to be on the slideshow, and I can say show each picture 15 seconds, 10 seconds, depends. Transition, so I can choose the type of transition that I want. Let's say I say plus. I can shuffle the pictures and click OK. Good. And one more thing is how to create shortcuts for files, folders, and applications that you use often. So I'll just click on the Windows Explorer. Now let's say I want my documents folder to have a shortcut on the desktop. So when I right click on it, the moment I click create shortcut, it will automatically create a shortcut on the desktop, because right now this is a Windows folder and it is within the library. But I can also use another option. When I right click, I can say center desktop create shortcut, then that one also will create it on the desktop. Now for a file, let's say I want this a file or picture, I can send it to the desktop too by using the same option, center desktop shortcut. Now for an application program, for example, if I go to the start menu, click all programs. Now let's say my CorelDRAW application, I want it to appear on the desktop. I can right click, center desktop shortcut. Now on also, let's say I want my USB disk security also to be on the desktop. Now one other method is I can hold down my control key, then drag. So when I drag, as you can see, it says copy to desktop. So that means I can copy that icon to the desktop, and that one also can create a shortcut. Now I can do some other options here, like for example, if I right click, I have view, and view the icons large. I can view them in medium icon, I can view them small. Okay, let me just take them back to medium. I can also sort them by name, I can sort them by size or by item type. And one other thing also is you can align the icons to grid. You can auto arrange icons, you can show desktop icons, you can show desktop gadgets. Now for example, if I unmark this one where you have show desktop icons, then it will hide icons on the desktop. They are still there, but they are hidden. You might want to hide them for a reason. So let me just put them back on. So when I click on it again, it will show the icons on. Good. So I hope this tutorial helps. So remember, it's always important to customize your desktop icon to the way you want. Thanks for watching.